What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we've got some news to discuss today. And of course, that is all the stuff that is coming this week. But let's just jump in over here, okay? So currently, we are on part 1 of the Familia Chronicle. Part 2 will be dropping this week. So hopefully you guys have finished up part 1. That does mean a new banner, and we really need to talk about this banner, okay? So, part 1 is kicking off Thursday. When you complete it, you will get for part 1, you got 400 Iris. For part 2, we're going to get an 11 draw ticket. Now, that 11 draw ticket is going to be good, I believe, for anybody in these banners, but what you're really hoping for is Ali. Ali is really the one you're most going to want to pay attention to. Now, one of the questions that came up here, and I know these are the part 1 banners. Someone asked me, and quite a few people have asked me, to say either we're returning to the game, we're new to the game, or we re-rolled. The anniversary is coming up, and it is coming up in short order. Notice this ends on the 11th of May, so these events go away almost a month, probably a month to the day, maybe even, from when the anniversary drops on, in the game. So here's the deal, guys. Hagney and Hedon are alright for what they are at this juncture of the game. They're not mind-blowing. But here's the deal. If you go into these banners, just a couple hundred, let's say a couple hundred, maybe 1,000, 1,200 Iris total, and you're able to walk away with at least one, if not both of them, you should be pretty good off. Each unit that you obtain in the game has the ability to farm Iris. There's a good amount of Iris you can farm from it. The problem is if you go too deep, you really run the risk of not being able to reaccrue that Iris. But do bear in mind, if you're able to, let's say at any point max them out, that's a sum total of 80 Iris you get. Even just getting them to level 60 is like 30 Iris. 30 Iris that you're able to accrue just for getting them to level 60. So that pays off pretty quick. But then you also have to consider CP levels. And I want to say, and I think we did this the other day on stream, I want to say in total, there's something like 450 or something like that total Iris you can farm from each one. Now, the good news is if you're really lucky on your draws, because these are discounted draws, and you're able to get them each for the 200 Iris, highly unlikely, but if you're able to do that, then you will absolutely come out of this in the golden. Not only that, but then you have to consider, now we've got, not only upgrading their units, then getting the CP levels, but we also have the outfit refinement, and there's a ton of Iris. Like, every once in a while, I'll go to outfit refinement and be like, dude, you've got 500 Iris. And I'll be like, okay, let's do that. Sometimes I can get a free draw just by, doing my outfit refinement. So there's a lot of reasons why grabbing a new unit is not a bad idea. Now, Alan, there's I want to say 3 or 4 of in the game. There's not a lot of Alan units, but he's been around, okay? Hedon and Hagney these are the only units of theirs in the general pool. I think there's one other that's time limited, if I recollect. And honestly, I could pull up the game and look in there, but just going off of memory, I think there's one other of each one of them, but I believe it is time limited. These are the only 2 that are general pool. Now, you could wait to pull them on a 2 or 3 star ticket, but odds of it are really, really, really slim. So I would say go in, but don't go crazy deep. Basically, at the 800 Iris level, you'll eventually, and I will emphasize eventually, break even. But if you're able to get them early, it will be worthwhile. Plus, obviously, if you get Freya or Freya or Alfric in the, I think I called him Alan earlier too. If you get Freya or Alfric in the summon, obviously, you can get some rewards for them as well. Though Freya's got a 3 star, so and even a 2 star, so you probably already have her as far as that goes. But at least you'll get their outfit refinement and things like that. The long and the short of it is not worth going into these banners. But if you want to go like a summon or 2 on each one of these and go after one of those guys, it definitely could pay off pretty well. This is the Familia Chronicle final gacha. And we really have to talk about this tomorrow because Ali is really good. This is the only Ali unit in the game, and she is really, really solid. You'll see me use her on like every single team. Here's the deal. If you're coming into the game right now, you gotta at least go after her. And I hate to say that because the honest answer to that is it's a bad time to be summoning. But you only need one for the moment. Don't go all in on this banner. And I don't care what anybody tells you. Do not go all in on this banner. Eventually, probably not right out of the gate, but eventually, you'll start accruing enough Dolb and stuff like that that you can actually get some Prism Bonds. Plus, there will be other ways like you got the Hero Medals, you got the Flame, well, in her case, since she's an assist, the Flame Amulets. You can actually get all of those. Whatever. Hero Medal and Flame Amulet. You can actually exchange those for Prism Bonds, and every single assist Prism Bond, until a replacement for her comes along, and I kind of feel like there might be one in the anniversary, since it's actually, we got one in 4th anniversary, the first one that did what she does. She replaced him like a year and a half later, so there's an outside chance, being that she's now a year old, that we might get one in the anniversary. I feel like it's a pretty distinct possibility. But nevertheless, she has a high likelihood of being replaced. But just in case she's not, you do want to make sure you have her. Basically what she does is she gives everybody on the team 33% SA gauge charge for everybody that's basically in play. She's really, really good and really useful. There's a handful of units that do that. Well, there's 2 units that do that, really. It's her, and then it's the time-limited Finn from 4th anniversary. So you got to have Ali. But as I said, don't go crazy. You have plenty of opportunities to get Prism Bonds. You have plenty of opportunities to max her out otherwise. Plus, she is in the general pool. She's not time limited, so you'll eventually probably pull one of her somewhere down the line. Just don't go nuts, okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't go nuts. But at least get one of her. If you can afford it, go all in. But I for the average player out there, I'm going to say don't. For the people that are, so what I'm going to kind of clear the air here, what I'm going to target from this point until the anniversary drops are people that are either new at the game or people that are re-rolling or whatever. People that have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of resources, but also a limited unit pool, right? So there's a lot of people out there that you'll be like, no, you got to go all in. You got to go. The reality is, I wouldn't if I were you. If you're somebody that's been playing this game for 3 or 4 years, and you are sitting on 15, 20,000 Iris, you're probably looking at her going, yeah, man, that's super tempting. If I don't have her, I need to go in and get like a dupe or 2. But you're thinking of this coming from the standpoint of someone who is like very well to do in the game. I'm looking at people that are very hard up and that are like, what is going to be the biggest bang for my buck? So I'm sure somebody's going to argue with me in the comments, but one will be good for now. Then we'll discuss Prism Bonds and things like that. Now, when it comes to Otaro and Alan, they're good units, but the reality is we still have their Hero Festa banners around, and their Hero Festa banners, by any measure, do kind of replace those units. This banner needs to be gone all the way through. You need to at least go up to the max draws. I've overdrawn a few times on the banner. It hasn't paid out, unfortunately. In fact, I even did the paid gotcha on the banner, and it didn't work out very well either. We're going to have to find a way to go a little further into this banner tomorrow night on stream, because I really do need to max those units. But the reality is, the other 2 units here, no, not worth. Get the Hero Festas and walk away with your head held high. The reason I would say go in on all this and not go in for Ali is because Hero Festa units only drop with Hero Festa banners. They're like time-limited. They're getting easier to obtain than time-limited units, but they're still very time-limited in and of themselves. So when it comes to their acquisition, I do heavily prioritize them over a number of other units in the game. But the reality is, yeah, you gotta have these units. They're must-own units. They're absolutely must-have units. Even if you don't max them out, you'll have an opportunity next time a Hero Festa banner drops. And if you're lucky enough to actually have the other Hero Festas, which for most people I'm talking to, probably not likely, every excess Hero Festa is another unit towards a bond. You do need two. You need a sum total of 10 Hero Festas to come up with a Bravestone. But it'll happen eventually. It's going to be rugged, but it'll happen eventually. Speaking of which, this is the bundle. Now, if you want to whale out, this is a fun way to do it. If you only need a handful, I would do their paid banners first. But I dropped a video on this 2 weeks ago. If you guys want to go see it, go check it out. This can result in a Hero Festa unit. Each one can, in fact. So you really have Hero Festa draw guaranteed to be a 4-star Hero Festa. You've got 2 Hero Festa potential tickets. These could pay out fat, or they could just be, trash. This just, it is what it is. It's just a general 4-star. This cannot yield a Hero Festa. But it will generally, result in a Hero Festa unit. You can actually pull this down for 800 paid Iris. Funny enough, 800 paid Iris is what you get with this bundle. This bundle is $60 USD. I forget what all the exchange rates are for that, but you can accommodate for that as you see as necessary. $60 USD, you get 800 paid Iris, which is just enough to pull on that banner, and you get a Hero Festa bond. This is a free bond that you can put into any Hero Festa unit currently available. Once we get the assists, that's going to be a whole other thing. But Hero Festa Adventure Bond, super worthwhile. But that is paid. That is definitely a whale option. So, these are fun. I love these. Development Showcase. So we're talking about the banners that are currently live, the kind of new ones, this Dark Eyes. These are just kind of like the concept arts that they went through, and obviously you can see which one they finally went with and refined a bit, but these are like pencil sketches of the different units that we could have potentially had in the game, and obviously they went with 2, but all of these arts are amazing. I love when they do this. Here's the Finn unit that dropped. I 100% skipped this banner, and I stand by that decision. But they went with 1, didn't they? Yeah, they went with 1. And you can see how they refined it and just made it better. I love seeing these. I skip these banners, but at the same rate, it is what it is. And I still stand by the decision to skip these banners. But I still am going to 100% gush over how amazing. So the thing you want to consider here, and why I really appreciate this, is because you've got 6 different fully fleshed out Reveria units here. And we're only going to see one of those units in the game. That's the one that we got a couple weeks ago. So, actually, 3 weeks ago? I think 3 weeks ago. I don't remember when they dropped. They dropped a minute ago. And even though I did say skip it, you do have to at least pay attention and appreciate what they did here. So she's kind of got that captain's robe, though she's wearing it like a... Okay, so she's actually number 6 there. So... the final unit. That's pretty common. Usually they go with the last drawing. You're wearing it like a one-piece admiral. Here's the different arts, and obviously they went with her second pose there. And none of these poses are particularly bad. In fact, personally, I'm a little partial to 3. 2 just kind of does look like a one-piece admiral pose. 3 looks really unique. I don't know why they didn't choose 3. It's what I would have gone with. That's why I love seeing these things. This just shows you all the work and detail that goes into these. Here's Alicia, and they obviously went with number 2 on that one again. No, they went with 2. Yeah. Really cool looking art. All these should be in, if you guys want to see these, I'm willing to bet that Yoko dropped these in the Discord. You guys can join the Discord with the link down below. Good stuff. Fun stuff. Did they go with outfit number 1 on her? They absolutely did. That's rare. That's pretty rare. Looks cool, though. I really like this art. And, which weapon did they go with? Let's see. They went with... It's hard to tell. Man, that's unfortunate. It's really hard to tell which weapon they went. Oh, okay. I can kind of make it out here. So they actually went with weapon number 1. It's got those extra little twig pieces here. Which I would have gone with 2. I think that's a cool looking weapon. Though I do like 3. Somewhere between 1 and 3. I think 1 looks more elvish and 3 is... I don't know. Still kind of elven, isn't it? But it looks awesome. I think these are amazing. Once again, I love seeing these. It's truly unfortunate we're not going to be able to get all 3 weapons in the game, but man, I almost would have gone like with the arrow from number 3 and the bow from number 1. Did they just go with number 1's arrow? They did go with number 1's arrow. Man, that's unfortunate. I would love to see arrow number 3 in there. All right, and here is their... man, I didn't realize Riv was that much taller than her. Holy. Well, apparently she's a giant, which is kind of awesome. So this just shows you, like, all the... So for those of you guys that, like... For people that are, like, artists or at least can appreciate art, this is how much effort that goes into one of these games. Sometimes we don't fully appreciate that. I know especially... It feels bad to, like, do this on a banner that we skipped. But I at least appreciate the art. I think this is phenomenal. So, that aside, a little tangent there. This is what's coming this week. Of course, we are getting part 2 of the Familia Chronicle, and you get that free ticket. Before you spend any Iris on this, snag that ticket, and hopefully you get Ali with the ticket. If you do get Ali with the ticket, then don't touch the banner. Walk away. Walk away. Don't spend an Iris 1 on the banner. Maybe if I could see the argument dropping 200 Iris for the first draw. The problem is the first draw is not 4-star guaranteed, but I wouldn't go any deeper than that. If you pull her on the ticket, but Ali is definitely the one you're going to go after here. Otaro and Alan, not so much. They've had their time in the sun, but I don't think that it is. I really don't think they're there anymore. And of course, the paid bundles those shouldn't even exist. Those are just complete traps. Now, if you were astute and paying attention last week, you will notice that we have a Familia War game incoming this week. We just had the pre-round for it in the last War game. This week will be Familia War game, and of course, with that, we have a training War game. So, if you were not in a Familia, I do believe both Chestia 1 and 2, I do believe, have some openings. So, make sure you guys jump in the Discord and make sure you guys go into the Familia application guide. Once this opens, we cannot add anybody there. But if you guys need to get into the Familia, make sure you're using the Familia applications. I'll make extra certain that we check those out tonight and tomorrow. And for people that need to get in before this kicks off, it's a really stellar time. Especially if you have a Familia that you have to leave because you have to wait 24 hours. So literally, if you're trying to switch Familias, even if ours or anybody's, you have to leave that Familia like right now. Like go to the game, leave the Familia. Otherwise, you run the risk of not getting in before this event starts. Just saying. Just saying. But of course, then the training war game. And you still want to do training war game because if you don't do this, often is the problem with me. If you don't do training war game, you will not get your bonuses for the next time the regular war game runs. So make sure you do training war game, which I'm terrible about, but you know, it's a must. It's a must, guys. So it's pretty much everything that's coming. The long and the short of it, just the Cliff's notes here. Hit the banner once for Ali, but make sure you get the ticket first. And, get prepared for Familia War Game. That's kind of it. We do know that there isn't a Familia event coming, but I think that is next week. We should get some more information on that shortly, but I think that is next week that the Familia, I think it was Familia Rush. That is happening. We got like a glimpse of it, and then it just kind of disappeared. So we'll have to see how that's playing out. But for now, guys, like, comment, share, and I'll be back with more Danmachi for you guys really soon.